Welcome to this episode, The Science of Joy in Motherhood, finding more happy moments in your everyday. Motherhood is full of little magic moments. The belly laugh, the sleepy cuddle, and the way your child says something that makes you smile for the rest of your day. But sometimes we rush past them. But here's the exciting part. Joy isn't something we have to wait for. It's something we can intentionally invite in our days, even in the smallest ways. And science showed us that these moments, the little bursts of happiness, are not just nice to have. They're actually strengthening our bond with our children, boost our mood, make us more resilient, and even improve our health. So today, I want to share the science behind joy and positive emotion in motherhood. What really happens in our brain and body when we feel them, and how we can nurture it more often. And at the end, I'll give you a fun little joy experiment so you can try this week to see how even the tiniest shift can make a big difference. So why joy matter in motherhood? Emotion like joy, gratitude, and there's so many elevated and positive emotion are not just warm, fuzzy feelings. It's a biological reset button. When we experience moment with positive emotion, even for a second or few seconds, our body releases powerful chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It deepens our feeling of trust and connection, but not only with our children, but within ourselves. It is released during physical touch, eye contact, and even when you share a laughter. But dopamine, the motivation molecule, gives us that spark of energy and satisfaction that make us move forward and likely to repeat positive behaviors. So together, they don't just make us feel good, they help us function better. The positive ripple effect joy has this beautiful effect that Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, one of the most respected voice in positive psychology, described it through her broaden and build theory. She found that positive emotion like joy expand the way we think in the moment, making us more creative, more patient, and better at problem solving. And over time, they help us build stronger relationship, better help, and more resilience. Think of it this way. Joy is like adding a deposit to your emotional bank account. The more you have stored, the more you can draw on during the moment that are testing you. It doesn't have to be big. One of the most freeing things about joy, happiness, elevated emotion is that your brain doesn't measure it by size. It just registers it, lock, and in. That means the tiny things count just as much as the big ones. So 5-second hugs, watching your child's face light up when they learn something new and are excited to show you, the smell of pancake in the morning, especially if you didn't have to make them. Your brain gives those moments the same chemical boost as a big vacation. And here it's important. Someone I'm gonna see in the comment, I will take the vacation over Sunday pancakes. I understand. But in that moment of breath and this is nice, that moment in time has the same chemical balance that if you are in vacation, isolate a couple of seconds and enjoy the vacation. So I'm not saying that one weighs more than the other in terms of intensity, value of time, memories. I'm just saying that when you get a boost of positive energy that generate a change in your body, that moment is equivalent to any others. And when you notice them intentionally, you reinforce their neural pathway. So high-end emotion become easier to access next time. So I know sometimes those happy emotion can feel a bit like your luxury. Like it's nice if it happens, but it's not always essential. But the truth is, I couldn't disagree this with more, is one of the most practical thing we can focus on as a mother. It's that. Because when you're fueled by moment of joy, you have more patience for the meltdown, more clarity for the decision, especially when you are under pressure, time rush, right? You need to really be sharp, and you have more energy for part of your life that matter most. So instead of thinking, well, I'll enjoy this stage when things calm down, we can choose to plant little pockets of joy now, knowing it's actually what helps us thrive. If you have to go from point A to point B and it's a really long drive, You will fill up your tank first, but you might have to stop along the way to put it. So, what's actually happening in your brain and your body when you feel joy? First, let's talk about oxytocin, the hormone of connection. Every time you cuddle your baby, I love cuddles, so I'm using this example a lot, but you cuddle your kids, your family member, your friend, even your pets, right? When you share a laugh or you even make contact with someone you love, there's something funny happening and you're like, oh, I got it, you got it, okay, great. All of that will drive your brain to release oxytocin. It lowers stress hormone, helps you feel safe, and strengthen your emotional bond. It's your body's way of saying, you belong here, you're connected, you're safe. Then there's the dopamine, sometimes called the motivation molecule. It's a bit what gets you going, like, ooh, I really want this to happen, and the motivation. So it's a bit kind of its role. It's released when you want to do something that feels rewarding, like hearing your baby first giggle, right? We have a lot of dopamine making all these faces, trying, to get a reaction out of them. When you finish a small task and you cross it off your checklist and that check feeling is great. I know that if I do something that was not on my checklist, I will write it down and then check it after. I'm not giving that dopamine away. Even that first morning sip of coffee, lemon water, tea, whatever feels like you're starting your day, that dopamine gives us that little burst of energy and focus. And this is the reason why positive moments can motivate us to keep creating more of them. So we also have the serotonin that is more like a mood stabilizer. It helps us keep our emotional state balanced, and it often boosts by simple things like sunlight, gentle movement, gratitude practices. And when serotonin levels are steady, it's easier to feel calm and present. Here where it gets exciting. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself through a process called neuroplasticity. Love neuroplasticity. It gives you so much power, and you know that your brain will adapt to what you expose it to. So every time you experience joy, for example, gratitude, your brain strengthens that pathway that leads you back to that feeling. So the more often you notice and savor that joyful, happy moment, the easier it becomes for your brain to find them back in the future. This is mean that these heightened emotion isn't just a personality trait you're born with. It's a skill you can strengthen over time. A quick example. So imagine you start your day noticing one small moment that make you smile. Your partner or your kid's bedhead. I know that's amazing. The way your baby squeezes you in the morning, like that first neck squeeze because they're so happy to see you. The smell of your breakfast, or when you open aggressively the curtains to get the sun shining on you. So pause and take it in for 10 seconds. Take a deep breath and let yourself feel it fully. Notice how your body feels, the shoulders, the position of your head, the smile on your face. That single pause tells your brain, this is important, keep it. And just like that, you reinforce your joy pathway for the day. Why does this matter for moms? Well, motherhood is full of fleeting moments, and it's easy to let them pass completely unnoticed. But when you know the science, that each one is a chance to literally rewire your brain for more connection, more patience, more happiness. And then you start to realize that joy is not just nice, it's a biological advantage. Here's the beautiful part. Creating more joy, happiness, high-end emotion in your day doesn't require a big chunk of free time or elaborate plans. In fact, the smallest shifts often has the biggest impact. Think of these as little invitation for joy. You can take them anytime, anywhere. First, micro moment of connection. These moments of happiness often hides in the smallest connections. The next time you hug your child, just hold on 1 second longer. Make eye contact when you hand them their favorite snack. Listen fully to the story they're telling you, even if it doesn't make any sense, or if it's about a cartoon that you've seen too many times. These micro moments release oxytocin and tells your brain that this matters. One of my favorite tricks is what I like to call joy priming. Start your morning by recalling a moment, big or small, that made you feel truly happy, and replay it in your mind for 10 seconds. This little practice set your brain in a kind of joy radar, making it more likely you'll notice positive moments throughout the day. It's like planting a seed in the morning that will bloom all day long. Savoring in real time when something feels good. Don't rush past it. Pause for a few seconds and name it in your mind. This is joy. This is gratitude. This is surprise. Take a breath. Notice what it feels like in your body. Maybe it's warmth in your chest, or you notice it's a smile that you can't hold back. Staying in that moment just a little longer helps your brain lock in. 4, create joy cues. Set up tiny reminder in your environment that spark a smile. A photo on the fridge that makes you laugh, a favorite song as your alarm, a candle with a scent you love. These cues act as quick switches, turning your attention towards something uplifting. 5, share it when you experience a joyful moment. Share it with your partner, a friend, your child, your pet. This moment of sharing doesn't have to be both ways. It's just you expressing how much gratitude you have for something just happened. Speaking out loud, reinforce it for you. Speaking it out loud, reinforce it for you, and often spread it to the person you're sharing it with. Joy multiplies when it's shared. None of those require extra hours in your day. They're about noticing what's already there, amplifying it, and let your brain do the rest. Over time, you'll find that joy stops being something rare and starts becoming part of your everyday rhythm. All right, here's your challenge for the week, and it's going to be fun. We're going to call it the joy experiment. Once a day, I want you to pause for 10 seconds when something makes you feel even a tiny spark of happiness. It could be your child's giggle, it could be your first sip of coffee, it could be the sunshine in your eyes, it could be the sunshine in the eyes of your partner that was not expecting you to open the curtains. That works very well. Or that quiet moment when everyone is finally settled. When you notice it, take a slow breath throughout your whole body and say to yourself, I'm keeping this one. That's it. What it does, it trains your brain to tag that moment as important so it doesn't fade into the background. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to spot joy the next time it's right in front of you, which means joy starts to show up more often. And if you want to take it one step further, write it down at the end of the day. Just one sentence. Today's gratitudes was. Today I felt blessed because of. Today I expressed a lot of joy because of. By the end of the day, you will have a list you can read back whenever you need a little reminder of the good stuff. Happiness isn't just something we have to wait for. It's something we can notice, nurture, and create, even in the smallest, more ordinary moment. And when we do it, it changed the way we show up for ourselves and for our children and our loved ones. So this week, try the joy experiment. Just 10 seconds a day. Pausing to keep one small, happy moment. This one, it's mine. So let it sink in, let it count. And if you write them down, you'll have a little treasure chest of joy waiting for whenever you need it. I would love to hear about your moments. If you could share them with me on Instagram at Mama Rewired, you can post them on your stories, send me a DM, or tag it, #TheJoyExperiment, so we can inspire each other. Or you can even write it under this comment section, because joy, happiness, gratitude, elevated emotion is contagious. And the more we share it, the more it grows. Remember, motherhood isn't just about the milestone. It's about the tiny golden threads of joy that weave your story together. And you have the power to notice them every day, every single day.